I want to bring in an early investor in Apple. It is Alan Patricof, who joins us again this morning. Welcome, guest to the show, sir.
Thanks, Stuart, for inviting me.
What's wrong with Apple? I mean, is it all China trade, or is there something else going on?
You know, I learned a long time ago, if you like a stock, you like a company, you like it twice as much when it goes down 50%. I think Apple is the kind of stock you want to own for a long time. Right now, they're going through the tariff problem, the China problem, and on top of that, nonsense about their keyboards and all these minor things that, you know, adds to the noise in the environment.
But I should be clear to our viewers, you were an early investor in Apple, like a generation ago almost, and you sold it.
Yeah, but I computed the value of the $300,000 we invested in 1979 would be worth today $3.5 billion. So too bad we didn't hold on.
But I mean, for an ordinary everyday investor, not someone like yourself, I mean, you're an early investor, but for ordinary everyday people, Apple at 179 is an attractive stock.
I think it gets more attractive as it goes down. You know, it's hard to believe, Stu, when you think about it. I remember a month or two or three ago, you remember better, that we were celebrating Apple passed $1 trillion in valuation. Remember, that was a real landmark.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, but I think the company is, you know, a basically strong company. It's got a product. I mean, go to 59th Street and Fifth Avenue. Sorry to be parochial, and they're building this new, I don't know, I want to say mausoleum, a new edifice that you're going to see.
Mausoleum, don't call it a mausoleum.
Yeah, the glass cube wasn't big enough. It's now going to be bigger, and you can't get in there at 3 in the morning. So I think Apple is. The one thing that's interesting is I heard Tim Cook at the Time 100 event a few weeks ago, in which he, in a frontal statement, said we should be regulated, which was interesting because, you know, the discussion today that's going on. I wrote an op-ed for the FT about 3 weeks ago talking about the need for regulation for these companies that have gotten very, very big. Not Apple particularly, but Amazon, Google, and Facebook.
Now, I know you're an early investor. You often get in before the company goes public.
We'd like to, yes.
You'd like to do that, obviously. Now, Uber and Lyft, ride-hailing services, they've gone public recently. They've not done that well. As an early investor, what do you make of these ride-hailing companies?
Well, first of all, unfortunately, I wasn't an early investor because the early investors have done very well.
Sure.
Will do very well no matter how the market fluctuates. But I think for the people who bought in the public market, you have to look at how the first 1, 2, 3 quarters do. And that, you know, I don't know. I mean, we're at a stage now with these companies where they can't have these 50 to 100% quarter-to-quarter growth rates. The growth rates have got to come down at these levels. And we know the losses are gigantic.
It's a new kind of company. You know, they've developed this whole industry.
Yeah.
Wouldn't someone like you want to be a part of it, at least in a...
Well, not now, but certainly then. But as a public market investor, I think it's subject to volatility based on how they're going to perform. I mean, we're now going to see, they're now in the glaring light of sunlight. And I think how they're going to do in this June quarter is going to be very important in the September quarter.
Okay, look, I'm 70 years old. I'm a conservative sort
of... That young?
Oh, thank you, sir. Is that good or bad? I'm not quite sure. Okay. Should I buy it? I've got a 5-year time frame. I've got a life expectancy of maybe 5 years. Should I buy it?
I'd be hesitant because I think it's going to be subject to a lot of volatility here. You've got, remember, the 6-month window when everybody can sell. Yeah. And so you've got huge overhangs in these companies. They try to take some of the air out earlier in getting people liquid. But you've got a lot of people who are just waiting for that 6 months and a day to get liquid. And again, you don't, I mean, they're getting competition, and, you know, Amazon's investment in DoorDash is going to compete with Uber Eats and the ride sharing. I mean, everybody, there are a lot of regulatory problems in various cities. I'm not against them. I think that they've had an amazing success, and maybe we'll continue that way. But you know, when you're losing $1 billion, $2 billion, that's a lot of money to keep losing.
Alan Patricof, yes on Apple, wait and see on Uber and Lyft. Okay.
Yeah. Plus, you know, we could talk about a lot of young companies coming up too.
Yes, we could. But you know, see that clock? It says 9:49. 9:49. I'm done. I'm dead. I'm dead. Hard break. They're going to kill me. Mr. Patricof, would you come back?